Here we are, Zoe Nightingale.
Hi.
We're in your home.
Finally.
Yeah.
I've been in your home so many times. How the tables have literally turned.
I know. We've been in living situations you've been in, but not something that is like properly your
Well,
home.
when we met, I was homeless
Yeah.
pretty much.
Totally.
And this is my first home alone and my first home in since pandemic and my first base camp. And while it is a little deeper into Brooklyn and a little there's a lot that changed about where I live, but I'm very grateful for it.
We're so far into Brooklyn, I didn't know where we were.
I know you do, but how could you? Because you're Greenpoint people.
No,
I
I
mean, we're
know.
like in the bowels of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But welcome to what is now affordable in our fair state.
Fuck yeah, though. Like,
Yeah.
this place is legit.
It's legit, and it's barely affordable. And I work my ass off and have no money, but get to live alone and live well.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody is surviving out there. No clue. The hustles people must be doing, the triple dipple hustles. Like, I mean, I got like 6 jobs, but I still feel like I'm not.
You're out there
fucking-
banging and clanging?
Yeah, I'm still so bad at money, but still, it's just the cost, the things, the everything, just to try to reinvent myself after a pandemic, COVID, like not to bring up Voldemort, but like it was a thing. I blew through all my money. I had I had a whale of a time in my own way. Like I was like, this won't end. I don't have to pay rent. I'm gonna move. I mean, we talked when I was living in California. I went to Mexico, and then I came back, and I was like, oh my god, all my stuff is in storage. I haven't worked in 2 years. I have like a bunch of like taxes from fucking unemployment that I didn't even know about. I need to get an apartment. I need like $10K upfront in cash. I need credit. Oh my god, I gotta pay off all these credit card bills. Holy Jesus, it's time to get back in the flow of New York City. And so the thing about having rent, which y'all don't know about right now, is that it inspires your ass to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So I get out of bed. And there is no, there were a lot of days I didn't get out of bed during pandemic because I was in somebody's fucking loft somewhere, living off somebody's teat. But now I'm living off my own teat.
That is pretty sweet teat.
In my little, my little subsection of the BK, and I'm honored and grateful to be here. And it's been a grounding experience, to say the least.
Well, I feel like we learn from you because, like you, when we do have money, we spend it quickly on good times.
Oh, man.
And good times for all.
Yes, good times for all, for sure. And I also and I've also struggled deeply with the concept that money is real my whole life, which sounds like a very privileged thing to say, and I'm aware of that. But like, as someone who's come from money and lost all their money and been around money and been in crypto and and entrepreneurs and Y Combinators and entrepreneur cash and like just seen the ups and downs of all of it. And somehow I always, through the grace of many things and privilege and whatever, but I landed on my feet. So like I was poor, I had the same amount of money. I was rich, I had the same amount of money. And I don't even know what I'm talking about, but like, it's just, money's a psychedelic fucking thing,
Oh, yeah.
It changes everything. It changes nothing. It like, I don't know. So getting back in the New York City fucking hustle and grind has been it's been good.
Oh, there ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind.
It's been good.
I think this is like the hip part of town now.
No. Hip part, what is hip?
Hip is when we drive through and we look around and we're like, we're too old for this place.
Oh, I mean,
that might not be this neighborhood.
I
Bushwick, though?
I'm not even really. I'm technically like the corner of Bed-Stuy. My street was technically, and I don't want to. I mean, I'm so scared to say anything. The omnipresence.
I can't believe this news.
I'm telling you. I'm like, I feel like I'm gagged and such like a big old fucking dildo down my throat because like I'm just scared to say anything, which is weird. Wow, the fucking world has changed. This used to be, fact check me, a very prevalent crack, weed, whole epicenter thing on my street. Cornelia Street in the 80s was like a whole fucking thing. So when I moved here, I don't believe in anything, but I do believe in like outsourcing to other people who know stuff and like maybe hoping for the rolling the fucking dice. Like why not bring a hot girl with some bones and some tea leaves and fucking tarot and some fucking sage, and we're going to sage this shit out because this building's been around for a long time. There's been a lot of energies in this space. And, like, I'm coming into a new neighborhood and a new demographic as a very colorful person. And let's throw some hot girl tits and fucking dice at it. Let's hope
You
it
did that?
works.
You had
I had a whole seance. Like I invited all the witchy shit. I mean, again, I want to be very clear that I do not believe that what they do is real. I do not. And
but you're like, I'll do it anyway.
And I never will. I never will believe you. I mean, I think the tarot card readers are like the best charlatan fucking just energy. I mean, listen, it doesn't matter if it's real or not, right? But I still participated in it, and I do feel better when like they're these like hot girls in like white outfits are walking out and like, yo, hey spirits, we welcome you. We also say like, be nice, whatever they're doing. I'm like, okay, it can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
So I did a lot of things to get myself ready for my new adventure in the BK, which has been my home. I've always lived in Brooklyn. Never lived in Manhattan, and
fuck Manhattan.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's humbling. It's grounding. It's like, it's ugly. It's beautiful. It's it's so raw.
Yeah.
It's raw. And I mean, many parts of this world are very fucking raw, but there's just, in a world that's supposed to be the most, the richest, the best, the hottest, the coolest, the youngest, the most whatever. It's like, yeah, there's like, so you see some shit every fucking day, 8 a.m., 6 a.m., 12 p.m. Like, there's just shit that happens that you wouldn't believe, and then you become numb to it, like, right away. And like one of the first 3 days I moved into this apartment, one of my neighbors was you know what? You see what I mean? I don't even want to talk about this. I saw someone being beaten, like a woman being beaten by her partner across the street, and I didn't have these fabulous gels yet, my disco gels. I'm on the first floor, and one of the another fabulous part about living as a single woman in New York City on the first floor of a new part of Brooklyn, like oh, what can I do to like jazz up the place and make it still disco, but like a little safer, a little bit less. You can see me walking around my tits out because like I obviously have no filter or care what people are looking at, and I'm directly street level. So I look outside my window. I'm like, oh, my new apartment. Oh, it's so nice in here. I'm getting like a cup of tea, walking around my boxes and my fucking old robe that I found in my storage unit somewhere. And my window's up a little bit, and there's just a guy beating the shit out of somebody. And again, privilege. I've seen a lot of violence. I've been exposed to different kinds of violence, but I don't think I had ever seen a man hit a woman in the head or kick her. Ever. No. Which, again...
Not since Snooki on the Jersey Shore.
I never saw that, you basic bitch. What the fuck were you doing watching that show?
She got fucking blasted on camera. I'd never really seen a guy punch a girl until something like that.
Okay, well, I saw it in real time. And it was... and then I got in this whole thing about... I have a super downstairs who I love, who manages the building, and we had a really interesting... I walked in, I was like, I'm never leaving here. What's up? Best friends, he lives below me. And, he's an older guy. He's seen a lot of shit. He's very aware of the neighborhood. He's like, look, you got to tone it down, young lady. Like, I don't know what's going on with it. But when we first met, he gets me now. He's like, met my family. He's been to some of my dinner parties. Like, we're friends now. But in the beginning, he was like, I don't know what's going on with you, but the way you are living is attracting attention. You do not need to be, chill the fuck out, bitch, basically. And when it was like 7 a.m., this woman was getting beaten across the street, and I panic. I freeze. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I call the cops, right? I'm like, right away. I mean, what do I do? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Probably shouldn't call the cops. This is probably like a neighborhood thing. I don't know the dynamics. Should I ask my super? I'm brand new white girl in the block. Like, there goes the neighborhood kind of vibes. First thing should I do? Maybe I should think about this. So then I like hide in my bed while watching. And this whole thing, I don't even know how we got here, but eventually it's been an experience moving in here. Did not call the cops.
Good for you.
Yeah, I didn't. That. But I talked to when I talked to my neighbor, like 20 minutes later, I kind of crawled on my bed. And the weirdest thing was people were watching it happen. Sort of like, you ever see the Black Mirror episode
where everyone goes with mirrors,
like this? It was like that, and I was like, okay, so obviously, like, this is not my place. Why am I even talking about? I'm like so nervous. I'm like, I don't. What's wrong?
You're nervous because right before we got on here, you're like, "Oh, for once in my life, I have to censor myself."
I don't know.
And
it's weird.
Like, "Don't bother. We'll edit stuff out."
So I was not even editing it. I was like, "Why do we even want to bring up like racial, like white girl racial in Brooklyn?" But
it's very interesting.
It does either way. So everyone's filming, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So like they know what's going on. There's like an older black, like a strong, like gospel look, like, and she's like just staring at the guy. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I I open my other window and I ask my neighbor who's drinking coffee. It's like 7:30 a.m. what to do. I'm like, just like, hey, I met him before. We like had like a funny interact. I'm like, I was like, what do we do? He's like, what do you mean? And he's Jamaican. He was like, what do you mean? What do we do? We don't do anything. This is not your fucking business. And I was like, right, not my business. Got it. And then I like went and hid in my bed and put my cup and I called my sister and I like, whatever. And then, there.
That's
You
the part
gotta
of New
get
York
on your-
City.
It is a safe neighborhood. I'm telling you, it's a super safe neighborhood. It's nothing
I
ever
think
happens
This is what
here.
you should have done. You should have gone your loudspeaker and been like, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Just be an interrupter.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, the thing I'm learning as I'm getting older is like, mind your fucking business and like, use your power and voice and your hands when appropriate, with thought.
Yeah.
And with not, like, do not react. Reaction is not the name of the game anymore.
Oh, you've never been in a mind your own business city until you've lived in New York City. And it becomes part of who you are, which sometimes it neutralizes people like you, which I hate to see.
Yeah. Well.
But you don't need to be getting involved with that shit. You know what I mean? If there was a party going on over there and you heard some music and dancing, go get over there. You know what
Oh no, I love hanging, dude. There's like dice games, all kinds of fun shit. Like this is great in the summertime. This is a fantastic neighborhood. I fucking love my neighbors. Like Stu hangs, like so great, so fun. But like, welcome to the neighborhood. And I was just like, okay, Miss Nightingale, like learn, like, there's a lot to be said as I get older, and like, just take a breath.
Yeah.
Before you get emotional. Take a moment to like observe all sides, because whatever your first reaction is probably not the best one. And even though I have spent a lifetime trying to understand people and learn from people and look at people and see different things and fucking be the best human I can be, it doesn't matter. I know nothing still. And I am still in my own little bubble of nothing, knowing nothing, of perspectives and whatever. And I just take a fucking breath, mind your fucking place, and use my voice when I am educated, when it makes it. Well, I don't know. It's been a learning process, because I used to be the person right away. I was the person with the megaphone right away, getting involved for no fucking reason without the context, because I just felt like I had the ability and the right, and like I've been learning a lot of things about what.
Have you ever gotten in trouble?
Oh,
Has the megaphone ever
God.
gotten you like in actual trouble?
You're joking, right?
Well, I mean, there's lots of different types of trouble, but
I mean,
Can I smoke this in here?
are you serious?
I don't know if you're
No.
if you're okay with drugs.
You can't. You can't. You can't smoke.
the neighbors might call the cops. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, the
Zoe
guys
might.
who are playing like Isley Brothers at 8 a.m. with their speakers pointed out of their windows
hell
toward,
yeah.
like, so it's like I would actually really appreciate, because like I used to wake up at like Sunday mornings to like, like some deep funk. I'm like, all right, guys, they're playing music for you. Their speakers are out.
That's nice.
And they have good taste.
Yeah.
And my neighborhood has excellent taste in music. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, I've gotten in a lot of trouble with my megaphone, because I am a instigator and a rabble rouser for reasons that I'm still unpacking. And sure, trouble with police, trouble with orgies, trouble with my jobs, trouble with my parents, trouble in general. Yes, but it's never been something that I couldn't
Get out of.
take the megaphone down.
And be like, all right, I'll be serious if you need me to be serious.
You
yeah.
break character.
I mean, this is like not even a story to share, but I got in so much trouble recently. I'm an event producer, as you guys know, and the venue I was producing an event at, I was in full clown already, which is never good for me, because when I have clown makeup on, like actual clown makeup on, as I'm sure with your Juggalo experience, like I'm already a clown, and when I have the makeup on, it's like
You're invincible.
yeah, it's a totally different ball game, and it was good makeup, and I was like, I was already like hyped up, adrenaline flowing, because it was a big event. There's a lot of money on the line, lots of many moving parts, and like, I'm in my like Xena Warrior Princess, fucking Pokemon, I choose you, fucking solving problem shit mode. And there was a car parked blocking both of my trucks, that my PA trucks that were taking shit in and out of my event. It was like there was like a big driveway, and two trucks needed to back into Wythe and North 11th, a very busy street, like right downtown fucking Brooklyn. I mean, downtown Williamsburg. And there's a navy blue BMW tan leather New York plates blocking my trucks to move. And then there's two other production trucks and three other cars in this narrow Wythe Avenue strip. And I have a very tight window of which to get my production, my like U-Haul 12 foot out. They can do it, but they need room. But anyway, this guy has completely blocked us in. And somebody, we were on a fucking time. And I was a full clown. I have my megaphone. And I'm like, I go into full fucking, what's the clown, the crazy clown, beautiful Harlequin.
Oh, yeah.
Full Harlequin mode. I get up on top of the car. And I'm like, which one of you piece of shit fucking like new moves in New York City with their tan leather and your fucking basic ass wife and your like thinks you could just like you think the world belongs to you and you could just block fucking driveways like you've got 5 minutes. I take out my keys and I'm like, I'm gonna key your fucking car, motherfucker. Then I read out his license plate, which has been like I accidentally comes off. I mean. And I'm like, reading license plate, like, would a license plate like 4215 of the douchebag with this car, please? Like, I go into the. I do a lot with my megaphone, walking around. This is 30 minutes goes by. I have an hour window. I'm like, TikTok, motherfucker. Like, I'm calling. I'm towing you. I'm whatevering you. Like, you've got to be around here somewhere. This is. And I'm hyped up. People are filming me again, like Black Mirror, and I'm getting, and then you just get more and more, and I get more and more clowned out, and I'm just like fucking raging. Yeah, seriously, I'm raging. Like, who the fuck is like blocking my path? I'm like a Lorax, like the Zax won't budge in their tracks. Like, I will stand here until you motherfucker get your. I'm gonna slash your tires. I'm gonna tow your car. I'm gonna kill. I'm
gonna kill your family.
Yeah, exactly. Gonna kill your. Like really, I'm like rage, and. 2 minutes go by. I have the license plate in my hand. I put it down and back in the venue. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to call the tow truck. I walk back in the venue. The owners of the venue walk in.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, guys, there's this car fucking blocking the fucking driveway. Like, I'm going to get a tow. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, I've been trying to. And they're like, that's our car. They have cameras, probably, like, on everything. So, like, I had gone on a 30-minute imagination of what kind of a person this BMW SUV tan leather.
I could picture this guy. I know who it is.
Listen,
they speed by you. They use blinkers.
He's actually a really nice guy, truly. And
but you nailed it still.
And he's a really, really nice guy.
Look,
and
you're a nice guy.
Look, I am literally in the middle of a giant production, and it's their venue. They could shut me down at any time. And he looks at me and he was like, "You can fuck with anything in my life, Zoe, but not my car." And I look at his wife, and I'm like, sorry. I'm almost tearing. I'm like, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I thought I could never think they lived a block away. I'm like, there was never a world in which you would have blocked my driveway. It didn't occur to me that it could be their car. And it was 30 minutes. Anyway, so did I ever get in trouble? And so with the next 2 hours, which should have been me like seamlessly flowing through my production of my event, was me hoveling to them. Like, I mean.
That's a tough one.
I mean. Why would you park your car there?
Well, you can assume that whoever's driveway it is probably the person blocking the driveway a lot of times because they're like, well, it's my driveway.
Not when it's a BMW with the tan interior.
No, it's just we've got 3 trucks in production. It's like if you are owner of the venue, you know that we are on go time. It didn't occur. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're also in the douchiest part of Williamsburg now.
Yes.
North 11th and Wythe has been taken over by
it's the epicenter of it.
By the garbage of the garbage. G-Star, Raw, Unite.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking Chipotle, fucking T-Mobile, fucking 2 Madewells. Why there's a J. Crew and a Madewell on like different blocks.
I know.
Yeah, like Scotch and soda. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Devotion coffee, $11 hand curated caffeine. Like I can't even with this neighborhood.
That's why we had to leave.
I get it, but
Yeah.
I just had assumed that it was just somebody minding their business who didn't have anything to do with my production, and I was mad.
Damn.
So, does the megaphone get me in trouble? Yes, it does, and I regret it. And sometimes I deeply regret it because the megaphone is power. But people always take my megaphone like, "Hey, can I use your megaphone?" But what they don't realize is you have to have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
They
freeze up.
Yeah, they immediately. And I have been granted or be fuddled with the gift of flow without thinking due to multiple car accidents and abuse of many kinds and age. But so the megaphone for me and I are one, but for others it's not a useful tool. They're like, hey, or like, yeah, Junior, today, Junior, give me the fucking thing back. You're not professional. Move along.
It's like when like when people see us filming something and they're like, "Yo, put me on camera, and we're like, "Stop!" And we're feeling like, "Fine, okay," and they can't think to do anything except do shout outs for 30 seconds of people no one's ever fucking heard of. I'm like, cool, good, real use of your time and our attention. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So yes, that is an example as of October 27th. And you can imagine there might be more because that's the only thing I can think of because my memory only goes back like 14 seconds.
But that's like a month plus without incident. And that's
Thank you. Well, also, funny you should say that. There's a box in my kitchen right now. My megaphone was recently mailed back to me. It has actually been out of my possession for a full month because at Halloween it was taken by my friend who went to San Francisco. Shout out to Frank. Love you. Love you. And he recently wrapped it up very carefully and mailed me back my gorgeous "You're welcome." Have you taken a look at this?
It's fucking awesome.
It's beautiful.
It's my round 2 since my the one I made for Burning Man was stolen at the bowling alley of the Grand Sierra Hotel after Burning Man. But this is round 2, and she's a beaut. She's a fucking beaut.
Yo, what happened at Burning Man? You got to give us, because you've been to what, like 17, 18
No,
Burning
my
Mans?
God, why would you do that to me? I mean,
Why is the apostrophe in the wrong
You
place?
just got to tell us the truth. Because
Don't. What's wrong with you? What's fucking wrong with apostrophe? Fuck you, Kat.
You spelled your wrong.
You know what? It's on purpose, okay? Art is not a science, okay? How dare you? How dare you put Burning Man? So
Well, you've been, here's
this was
my
my
question.
11th,
Okay.
and
This is the first one we've been fixated on in real time.
got it. Well,
And we were like, how do we get the real story?
I've
Because
got-
everyone's trying to be like, it's all good.
I've got good news for you. The only reason I went to Burning Man because after last year's Burning Man, which my podcast series was called "The Reckoning and the Apocalypse," I never wanted to go to Burning Man again. And
Is that something particular to last year? Because I heard
no,
from
no,
other
no, no,
people,
no.
like everyone wanted to take a
This
break
was
this year.
2022. We're talking about. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
right.
Everyone after that one was like, fuck
2022,
this.
shout out to global warming, not a joke, not a myth. 2022 was so brutal, was so deeply spiritually, psychologically, mentally abused. It was like being fucked over and over and over again with a dildo with like fucking spikes that come in and out. You don't even know when they're like. So like the
This
spikes
as a dildo.
No. I'm talking about long spikes, but the spikes are on like these like timers, and they come out and in and pierce the inside of your thighs sometimes. So you don't even know when you're getting fucked with the extra spike. Yes, in fact, it's like give me that. I'll show you. It is like getting fucked with this. Burning Man 2022 was getting fucked by a chainsaw covered in fucking disco tiles.
No lube.
As a professional burner, which I am through and through, I have been, I have done, I've seen it, I have built it, I have survived it, I've suffered it, I have listened, I have loved, lost, given it my all.
The plier provides.
And I have given it everything I had back. It was Oh, I think I put it on its. Sorry. It was the worst. My mother was there. Her air conditioning went out like day one. She's 79. She's with her partner who was 82.
That she met at Burning Man.
She met at Burning Man
Because you brought her.
Because I brought her.
They're
It
so
was
old.
record level hot, like 115 degrees. And there's so much dust, and it was like this. It was hotter than it was like this baked in, packed in, like brutal heat that you couldn't escape from, and the winds were so crazy, and the dust was so crazy that it was like being inside of like a fucking tornado. And our camp got ripped apart. Like as soon as we built it, like it was just everything went wrong that could go wrong. Everyone melted down. I was running around trying to fix all these problems. I couldn't do anything. I was completely immobile. I couldn't. I had moments of joy and fun, as you always do at Burning Man, in the sheer cream pie fuck your burn of the disaster of it, and you're just like coughing up bukakis of dust, and you're just like, I'm alive, and I have experienced love. I remember that I have love and water and something. I'm fine. It's good. Like you're like davening like a fucking psychopath in a psych ward. Like I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. But you're not okay. You are not okay. And it was
Yeah, there's a reason your body's shouting out those messages to you.
It was, and my mother was in danger, and her partner, who was a fucking badass. Her partner's like this photographer, like woodsman, like sturdy, non-Jew. Like I can't even say that. He's not Jewish, okay, but he's like a mountain man, and he like fucking builds shit and like has like herding dogs. You know, he's like a dude. But he's 80, but he's like in good fucking shape. He wears fucking hiking boots and a kilt, no underpants, dick out, and takes pictures of naked guys on the playa doing repositions of classic women poses because that's his fad right now. I mean, he's dope as fuck. But he can't see that well, and he's got like a weird hip and shit. And like my mother and him are just usually fine. But it was like, my mother's going to die on playa. And I'm going to be responsible. I mean, I'm like, in every single way, I was just like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why did I spend $5,000 of money I do not have after pandemic I just moved in this apartment. I was like just getting back on my feet. I just getting my money back, and like because I couldn't say no to the hoe of the almighty playa and its FOMO fucking sirens, I got smashed on the fucking rocks by the sirens and eaten alive. They ate my bones. They left me with nothing, fucking nothing. And when I got out of Burning Man, I was like, I promise you, Zoe, like to hand on heart, to God, to whatever I believe in, to the witches and the fucking warlocks and the wardrobes and the lions, I will never go back to this godforsaken place again, no matter what they promise me.
Really?
Never will I step foot on this place again. I have learned my lessons, and the only thing that I was being told, like, I'm not mystical, I'm not God-fearing, I'm not a God, but
You're a party girl.
It was like, how dare you? But I'm not a person who, like, looks for God's voice.
Yeah.
And it was like God saying to me over and over again, like he said to like cut your son's dick off on the mountain, like, Zoe, do not fucking go back here. You are done. Like the gnomes in DMT, like, you're done, bitch. Ripcord. If you come back here, you will die. I will kill you because you did not learn your fucking lesson. And it was very clear. The message was unbelievably clear, and I was just like back like that Maxwell guy in the fucking thing, just like, okay, God, I get it. I won't do it again. I will devote myself to other pursuits. I was raised in other ways to do better with my time in my hands. This is a fucking circle jerk of fucking drugs and chaos and stupid, and I am stuck in a cycle of endless, repetitive rat maze, fucking pressing buttons of fucking triggers that I don't need to do anymore. Stop this shit. Clean up your act. Get sober. Get your life together. Get healthy. Go to yoga. Do all that shit.
Yeah.
Listen to fucking science podcasts. Shut the fuck up. Sit the fuck down. And enough. It was so clear. And I wasn't going to Burning Man. And I was so happy about it. Everyone was like, I can't take it. I was like, I'm out of it. I'm fucking sober from your burn. Fuck your burn, losers.
That's what it sounds like.
Did it, done it, don't care. I'm finally out of your fucking trap. I'm going to go to Greece with this money I have saved up for like half the price. And I'm going to fuck hot guys on yachts with white wine. I'm going to chill.
It's like having an ex. You're like, I don't want to think about that.
Oh my God. It's just like I finally broke my cycle of addiction to Burning Man, which is absolutely addiction. And I'm not. I love you, Burning Man. God rest your soul, Larry. I pray down to your false idols forever. And the gifts that you have given me, I will, my mother, my family, my soul, my everything. I am not. Everyone should go. Yeah. But not me.
Yes.
I'm done.
Yes.
So I was not going. I was so happy. I had all these plans. I was going to get a flight pass. I was going to go. I'm telling you, I was so excited. So excited. One of my best podcasts ever from last year was me talking to my friend Amy, who also had broken the cycle, who hates Burning Man. And like she almost dies every year. She's like this wisp of a beautiful, gorgeous, like she's a celebrity matchmaker. She's this beautiful redheaded trash princess who like is the most divine creature I've ever met. And every year we go, and every year it like completely destroys our lives. And we're like trying to build professional careers. We go there and like, it takes a month to recover. Our money's all done. We think we make all these connections and these divine soulmates and whatever, and they disappear in seconds. We're back in New York with no money, like coughing up a fucking, like a hairball of dust. Just like, what the fuck did I do again? I got fucked by Burning Man again. So anyway, I have a great podcast with her where we're like celebrating the fact that we're not going to Burning Man. We're like,
oh man.
Yeah, but so what happened was, as in most great stories, is that like 10 days before Burning Man, Vikram Gandhi, who is a celebrated, incredible, the best at what he does, documentarian, filmmaker. He made Kumare. He worked for Vice during when Vice was cool, remember?
No.
Yeah, well, 20 years ago, Vice was the sickest shit ever. And 15 years ago, Vikram was doing the sickest shit ever of all time for Vice. He was doing like amazing underground documentary work on like rhino horns and like, going into like black markets and like crazy gun stuff. He went to Fukushima in fucking like to like see if the radiation was true and like was tested. I mean, he was Vikram is the best. So, and I respect him, and I've been begging Vikram to work with me for a decade. I've known him since 2008 when he stayed in my mom's apartment to go to the Obama rally, and we went. I mean, I've known him for a while, and he loves me, respects me. But to be fair, I'm hard. What do you do with this, right? We don't know. I don't know. You don't know. You try.
I bow down.
I've been waiting, like on my knees for like any of my successful friends. I'd be like, "Yeah, Zoe, here you go. Just have the thing. I'm gonna do it." So Vikram calls me. Is like, "How would you like to be an on-air host for Burning Man this year with my camera crew for our documentary that we're doing with Burning Man?" This was 10 days before Burning Man. And I couldn't say no. And I had a reckoning of the soul for real. Like, and that's when I hadn't even put out any of my podcasts from 2022 because I couldn't listen to it because it was so traumatizing.
Yeah.
So then I went through all my audio from 2022 and edited it just to remind myself and prepare myself to get ready for what I was going to face. And I was like sitting in my anxiety and my fear of like, please don't kill me, God. Please don't kill me, God. I'm chasing false idols. Like all my Jew shit comes back. Like I'm not listening. I'm chasing TV shows. I'm not listening. Oh my God. And like, I had recently gotten a full-time job. I'd recently gotten a boyfriend who's stable and cool. And like, Burning Man is the great it's like going on a heroin, speed, cocaine, hooker binge for like, it's like, it's like, it's all of it, you know? And can I do this? Can I stay sober enough to be on camera? We're real cameras that will be shown to real people that will hate me. Do I have the guts to stand up to Burning Man with my past and my insecurity about being on camera and my insecurity about my inability to remember what I say, and like, am I going to cancel myself? We're in this fucking really difficult time period to be someone with a mouth like mine. Like, should I put because what I'm going to say is going to sell shit, right? So they're not going to, I mean, while I trust Vikram with my entire heart, I never would have done it because I can't edit it. It's fucking scary. Yeah. I'm going to go out to Burning Man and I'm going to have to stay sober. I'm going to have to go to bed. I'm going to show up on time, dressed, without fucking dust in my nose, without fucking... I mean, there's only so much you can do. Like, dressed, and like, I look good at Burning Man, but like, I'm like, I'm on fucking camera, I'm going to look great. So I got all these fucking custom shit. My friend Jesse Alexander makes amazing outfits. I just threw a bunch of money at him, like, make me the dopest shit ever. And I like... For 10 days, I had my girlfriend come over here, deep clean my whole apartment. She packed all my shit in cubes labeled for outfits per day. I put I did like hyper psychopathic, like, because I'm the most disorganized person in the world. And I had this psychopath. She says, I'm Virgo. I don't know what that means, but like, I don't know, but it's like an organizational thing. She came here and she just like made me this small suitcase. I just go with like 3 suitcases of like everything I needed. And I like really got down on the fucking floor and I called my mother and I made a pact to God, her, me, like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to be sober, which I've never done, ever. I mean, I've struggled with sobriety forever. And, like, how do you, the management of drugs and alcohol and
what is it, mainly alcohol? When
it's
you say you struggle?
No, it's just all of it. It's not being in...
I've never seen you fucked up.
Yeah, but that's not the thing.
Weird.
It's
I know.
we're drinking. I'm in social. We're taking ketamine. We're taking cocaine.
So he doesn't want to say no. It's
not even no. It's like it's just part of the fuck. It's always part of it. And whether or not I'm never fucked up or sloppy, but it's always in me.
Yeah.
And I'm not. Yeah. And so I really did not want to be fucked up at Burning Man and be sloppy on camera. Yeah. And I was like, can I go to Burning Man and can I say no? Can I do this? And can I go to bed and wake up because we only shot the daytime. So I have to be there at like 5:40 a.m., at a specific place, dressed and ready to fucking interview people and deal with the burn. So it was a fucking gamble, and I did it. And I went to Burning Man, and I did it.
Wow.
I did it. I went to bed every night. I camped with this amazing fucking camp called RX, who's the most professional old school New York burners who are like anti-fluff, anti-rainbow, anti-friendly. They put like things down on their thing. They don't want anybody to come. They're just like,
nice.
I mean, they'll serve anybody to come if they can find them. Yeah. But they're just grumpy fucking old, super professional, just rock star genius, like engineer humans. And they gave me, I rolled up in the burner bus with a little suitcase, and they had a tent for me with an air conditioning unit. It makes sense. The first time ever I would have air conditioning. I've never had air conditioning. It was not hot. Yep. It's the first year ever. Can you imagine the world?
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just furious, but whatever. So I showed up, and I did it, and I had the most incredible experience, and then it rained. Yep. And it rained, and it is the thing that probably will make this documentary succeed. Because Burning Man in itself is like, okay, we get it, like, whatever. But the hilarity of the rain and the unbelievable difficulty of it. And me and the producers were walking. We'd make these shoes out of plastic. So there was many different iterations of these shoes. First, you try to walk with shoes, plastic garbage bags around your shoes. Then you realize there's nothing. You've got to tape your foot first, because once your foot gets wet and cold, you're fucked. So you wake up and you like tape your foot with different kinds of duct tape, like a plastic thing, and then you put on your shoe, and then you put a garbage bag, so Ziploc on the foot, garbage bag with duct tape all the way around, kind of like a moon boot, all the way around
my
because
God.
you're walking in such uneven fucking moon
Yeah.
fucking garbage thing that it will rip and tear at any duct tape. So you've got to make it like a fucking, you know,
Holy
like
shit.
so like it was so like we make these moon shoes and then we go out into places where you're like knee deep in fucking muck and there's people out serving fucking drinks naked, dancing around, having the best time, but you had to walk and you have to be in good shape. And I'm like not in the best shape. But we did it. I mean, we walked in the muck and the gluck and we got the shot. We fucking got the shot.
Damn.
And I was like a pig in shit, literally. And I just feel so grateful to him and all of it. And like, it was a fucking gamble because I didn't know if I could do it because it's really hard to say no.
Could you do it sober without like the pressure of like having to perform?
I don't.
Or would you want to?
No, I mean, I would.
Do you want to go to this next year?
Oh, no. I'm good.
Great.
I'm
Cool.
done. I showed the side of Burning Man they needed, the comedy, the fun, the revelry, the moments of magic.
Yeah. Juggalette spirit.
Yeah, and because Burning Man is an incredible place, and I think the documentary needed those moments of magic. It's hard to capture moments of magic if you don't have someone like me who can because they're happening in. Because the documentary was like filming like art and the people who started it, and they're sitting in like professional settings. But like we were just rolling around a golf cart, me like being like with my megaphone, being like, "Yo, little dick, get over here!" And then we have a conversation in real time, 5 minutes, boom, gone.
Mm-hmm.
Those little like moments of quixotic like magic, liquid silver, fucking mercury shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just I have no idea what I said or did. We shot for 5 days or 4 days, and I've never worked with a better team. Vikram could not have been more professional. It was the most. Awesome. You want to talk about producing the most difficult thing ever? He had a team of like 40 like different camera crews who could not use their golf carts anymore with red cameras, trying to like swap out cards and like with the different. I mean, it was like nightmare production.
Yeah.
But he handled it like a fucking champion.
His crew too. Like,
I'm telling you, the crew was the best. I mean, and so whenever the documentary comes out, I trust that I won't embarrass myself too much or my family, but I leave it in the hands of the devil, and
let's just forgive that version of you now and say she's rad. And, like,
sorry,
you know what I mean?
Sorry. I did the best.
Because I don't want you to have to go through this again when it comes out.
It's going to be tough. No, honestly, it's going to be tough. I'm not a person who likes to be on film, and it's not
I know
about.
You started bitching about a fucking iPhone.
It's not about how I look or whatever. It's different. It's because as an interviewer who works in audio, the moment the camera comes out, it's double the work for me to get people in the space of that pocket of truth.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And so it actually just challenges my belief in my ability as a holder of space and as a collector of stories. Can I do it with that fucking camera where people are going to see your fucking face, not just your beautiful voice and your soul. It's your face attached to a job, attached to a wife, attached to a thing.
No, I couldn't do it.
So
it's like Inception layers deeper than what we do, because like even what you do when you're just like off camera doing the mic thing, they're going to hear your voice and your questions and stuff. Like a lot of the stuff I say to the subjects won't even make it into the film. The vast majority of it.
Well, your films are mostly others. It's just the beauty of the moment. And that's, I love that about your work. And so, it's a very different experience because there's people attached to it. There's my mother and my family who have so many feelings about the work. They are supportive, but I'm a representation of them and Judaism and feminism and American whatever. And somehow people are embarrassed. They are. And I have to, and I sit with that, and it's fine because this is my path, and this is whatever I believe in or not. This was my destiny. I'm here. I'm in it. I'm sitting in it. And, I just got to trust that whatever I said or did is going to be for the benefit of some kind of love, connection, and truth. And I don't, and if I can sacrifice myself to the slaughter in the meantime, okay.
Well, that we have to practice that with this.
Right.
Every time we do it.
It's
why do we, you go through that, like, why do we do this again? Like, that bullshit.
It's a lot. You
what
don't
did
even
I
know
say?
who's watching it.
No.
What are they doing? Why, who are they, that's the thing.
It seems like it's funny to hear you talk about embarrassment because it feels like you don't even have that function. You know what I mean? Like,
I just forget. I'm embarrassed in general, but then I'm like, oh, there's a shiny thing. It just doesn't sit. It's just embarrassment isn't something that what am I gonna do? I've embarrassed myself so many times. What's the worst thing I could possibly do? The only thing I don't want to do is like marginalize, humiliate, say something that like ignorant. I just don't want to be ignorant.
Yeah.
But embarrassing myself because I'm a fucking silly little clown that's trying to make people laugh, cry, feel something in this fucking robot world, I'm okay with that. What's the worst that can fucking happen? Really?
One time, and shout out to my boy Joey, nothing has ever done has made Joey laugh harder than this situation. And if it weren't you, I would have fucking probably offed myself from embarrassment. But we're just sitting at my apartment. I get random spam texts all the time, and I try to fuck with people. And I get a text from a random number that says like, hey, not having the best day, would really love to come by and just chill or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is great. And
that sounds like a text you would get a lot.
I get spammed.
That's
it was just from a random
really
number.
Curated fucking text for you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I get this text and it's a random number. It's the first text I ever got from this number. And I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Whoever they thought they were texting, I'm going to ruin it for this guy or whatever. So I just write back, yeah, I mean, you could come by, but just so you know, I already jacked off, so, like, I'm not that horny or anything, which I don't jack off. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows that.
Listen, you don't have to when you've got cats in your life.
Me and Joey are sitting there cracking up about even me writing that to a random person, and then you write back. It was you.
It was me?
Yeah. This is why I love you, because you don't even remember this. If I did this to anyone else, me and that person would be thinking about this till the end of time. That could have been anyone else. But you were like, you wrote back like,
no, I remember
like,
now.
we don't have to fuck or anything. Like, I'd just be down to cuddle. And I was like, who is this? And you're like, Zoe. And I was like, Zoe, you text me from a fucking random number.
It wasn't a random number. Was it a random number? I've had the same number for 45 years.
It came up as a new number for some reason, and it was the first text, and that's why.
That's great.
Yeah, it was.
It didn't surprise me.
Joey died laughing, and I was like, Joey, thank God this is Zoe, because fucking anyone else, I would just be so mortified. I wouldn't even know how to explain myself.
What time of year was it?
Summer.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Right when you were just getting back to New York.
Oh, boy, it was hard. I was living with this crazy-ass girl. She was so bad. Oh, God. Yeah, no, it's a blessing and a curse to have a brain that focuses solely on the present. I am Dory. I am the fish.
I think it's more of a blessing because, sitting there dwelling on shit all the time or getting anxious about the future, it's not where it's at.
But it's nice to remember moments.
It's there. It's there, though. Like, I always think I can't remember anything, and then I get around my old friends, just being around them. I'm like, oh, yeah, that time, this.
Yeah.
It's all there. Like, your body knows about it, but dwelling on it and shit. Like,
no, I don't dwell. But sometimes the over-presence, like last night, I was in tears all night just because sometimes I just get really, really overwhelmed with the compilation of sadness and rejection and failure I've had in my life.
Yeah.
But then
that's what I call rejection.
Yeah.
Volume 26.
Then I do a dance, and like my boyfriend was really, really, he just like kind of held me while I just had it. It was just, sometimes it's just I don't focus on all, but the all of it overwhelms me. And then like as a really giant empath, like I can't help it. Like my friends are all melting down around me. The world's melting down at all times. Not like it's new or different, but like, everything is so unstable and so confusing and like so flimsy and non-grounded. And it's just like, you're taking all of this energy all the time up and down and around, especially in New York, living in and just like sometimes like your body just wants to burst with sadness and excruciating empathic like fear and why, and the endless question of why does it have to be this hard when there's so much abundance? How is it possible that it is okay for the way that people are subjugated, abused, and whatever? And then my head just goes into fucking endless spirals of whatever. And so, yes, it is great to have my kind of brain. Sometimes I get overwhelmed, but I'm sure like most people, we're all going through it all the time.
Concentrated doses.
Oof, my God.
Check the thing.
What are we checking? Finally. I want you to have more bows in your hair.
I took that one out.
Why?
Because you couldn't see it.
Why? It's so cute, though. It's so cute when you have a little bow. I love it.
Yeah, you have a lot of... I wanted you to do a show and tell section.
I can do a show and tell with you.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
show us something.
I mean, the apartment is ever changing, right? So, yeah. Show you something? Well, we have my trusty "What the fuck is in that box" sign that I made for Halloween games, where you put your hand into creepy shit.
What is this thing? Because I love this.
Oh, it's well, as a true ADHD human who was never given proper medication, but I'm glad now that my mother just made me work
Well,
with it.
they never medicated you, but they wanted to. Someone
No,
wanted them to.
I mean, yes, specialists.
Yeah.
But my mom said no. But I struggle. I mean, I'm a fucking, I'm like a moon bounce. I mean,
You're a beam of sunlight. Like this street, I'm sure got so much brighter. Your downstairs neighbor was probably for a second like, whoa, this might be a little too intense. But then you realize.
I mean, you are what you are, right? There's nothing I can do to change what this is now. I'm fully formed. You can't shove me back up and ask for a refund right
But
now.
this is the most wholesome chapter that we've known you by far.
Oh, God.
This is like the good, clean, fun version of Zoe.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know.
No, it's good.
Well, we used to be worried about you airing our dirty laundry, and now you're like, I won't even air my own. And we're
I,
like,
no,
okay.
hey, oh, no. I aired all kinds of dirty laundry. I mean, my God. I mean, I might be in a lawsuit with the guy that I have the car thing with. I definitely should be putting any of this stuff out on the on the internet. But no, this is I'm just more scared than ever to speak truth, and especially about Jewish stuff, especially about my own experience, especially about
You had some great lines the other night in the sauna, and I was like, this should be on the podcast.
Hey,
like
man,
you were able to just succinctly say stuff that I was saying to you. I'm like, we can't say that.
No, you can't. Look, it's just it's a really weird, scary time, and the censorship and like the Fahrenheit 451-ness and
Yep.
they're being policed by everybody, and like there's super huge consequences and like real ramifications for speaking your mind in any way, as any person, as of all colors, all gender, like there, it's just, and maybe I'm just tapping into it for the first time, and other people have had it their whole lives, and it's like it's a real reckoning of the like, wow, it's just a very unsafe time to be someone that wants to speak their truth. And I am aware that many people's truths are not something that should be shared or very, but like, fuck, man, where do we go from here?
I know.
What is there no room for gray, rainbow, middle? It's just black and white for fucking ever, left and right and wrong. Fuck this.
I think only if we like surrender to that and accept that as like the truth that you can't say things. So it's like, no, you can say things. There might
There's
be
people that
consequences
don't want
from
us
people.
to say things, and they're trying to scare us right now. There was
Yeah.
just a law passed, I think, in Texas that said anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and I'm just like, is anti-Semitism illegal? Like, yeah, I get it. It's like uncouth and like fucking you're a lowlife, but like, is that illegal? Well, don't we have free speech? Like, can't people hate somebody if they want? Like, isn't that the idea?
There's a lot of hate going around on all sides, and
Oh yeah.
It's just funny. I just can't believe my grandmother was right. One of the things my grandmother said to me, who was very much a staunch Zionist and support of Israel, and very, leader of her JCA in Pittsburgh, and like a pillar of the Jewish women's community in her world. She always told me to, when you go into a room or a public place, to identify the other Jews in the room, because you never know when the Nazis are going to come. And this was like, I was born much later, and she was much older, and I was like, Grandma, it's like 1998. Like, there's no more Nazis. There's no more hate. Like, whatever. Like, oh, it's over now.
I know, it did seem like that.
Paradise. And the thing that's been funny, and I'm not going to speak about either side or whatever, but the thing that has been interesting is like, all right, Grandma, fair enough. Yeah, I wish you. It's weird.
Do you
out
think there's
there.
something?
Zoe knows what's up. We're not gonna make her speak to it, but people know our opinions. Zoe knows what's up.
There's way more educated people that have far more in the game and have way better, more. And again, the name of the game is education here. And I have been educating myself, but until I feel like I have done my best to understand all sides and do the history work and do the lessons and like meta overview everything, I'm not saying a fucking thing to anybody about nothing.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
We tried, and then Noah came on here and blew it.
I'm telling you, I have been today. I interviewed right before you. I was at my friend Elon's house, who is Israeli, and was part of the pro-Palestinian movement till he was like 18. He got out of the army because he was a pacifist. Like, is one of the most educated Jews I know on the subject, and like he was rattling off history points and moments, and from the fucking beginning to like a very dense part, like right before the war, and like the names of the leaders in the 1920. I mean, like this is a person who is deeply educated, highly connected to the topic, and I right before I saw you, I've been interviewing Jews because I don't know what to say about any of this. So what I'm doing, what I always do, and I don't know what to do, is I just talk to people who I believe are smarter than I am to learn from them. And so I have been just listening because until I know more, I don't have a place to say nothing.
Well, I think if anyone is trying to seduce anyone into hating any group of people, it's like it's clear that it's you're getting taken for a ride.
Yeah. I'm on the side of love, man. I'm on the side of love always, and human rights for everyone, and human decency and education and support and love on all sides. I don't know what that means in terms of a viewpoint, but yeah, so I'm just educating myself in all ways and staying fucking silent for the first time ever. Big old dildo fucking ball gag in the mouth.
Well, hateful rhetoric can have consequences, and to act like it can't and it doesn't, like, is ridiculous. Like, hateful rhetoric where you're saying a group of people is evil or whatever, either side of this saying that is, or either side of anything saying that and reducing it down is dangerous territory.
Yeah, and I don't want to get involved in that shit. And, like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to stay alive over here and like add as much joy. I mean, my viewpoint, because again, none of this is new. The hatred and vitriol and racism and murder and genocide and rape and fucking disastrous ways in which money and corruption and religion and fucking evil and just macho garbage testicle fucking behavior has
testicle adventures.
Just like. None of this is new. You know, we have a spotlight on this one thing right now, but you know, my feeling about all of this every time it happens is like, how can I radically inject my sphere with love and joy and silliness and whatever, and whether or not it makes a difference at all, I mean, who knows? But like,
it does.
I just try to reverberate love out and silly comedy, high school, not like little kid and like innocent and like perverted, silly, stupid, like basement of your friend, you know, before you got all cicada shelled and fucking broken inside. Like, I try to tap into whatever that childhood joy, fun, connective tissue is, and stay there and try to teach people that as much as I can and model that. Really,
you embody it. You really do. I really think that's why you took to the Juggalos in a way.
I love the Juggalos,
and that's a huge compliment. It's like you get around a group of Juggalos, and there's just like a lot of like stoner laughter, like because like someone's just like always saying like the low hanging fruit joke, and sometimes like who cares?
Yeah.
Like it's just funny.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. We try to.
There's not a lot of judgment there.
Yeah. I don't know. We try to more and more preach. Try to find humor in your life, because in order to find humor, you have to have humility. So it's actually like it's a spiritual process. Like if you've lost the laughter, like trying to refine that is like it's a process of growth and evolution and listening. You know, if you don't think something's funny, you gotta listen more.
Yeah, listening is really important. Yeah. It's so funny. When I was talking to my friend David today. He said to me, "It's so funny. You're like you can be such a cunt in real life, but you're so nice on your podcast." And he was like, "Why do you think that is?" I was like, "Well, because when I'm in podcasting mode, I'm listening, and when I'm in real life, I'm ready to fucking have something to say, you know." And so it's a different modality when you're truly giving yourself to someone. There's not a lot of judgment when you're just listening and you're not using your like garbage of like whatever, and when you're in a judgment-free place with someone and you're actually listening to their heart and soul, like, you know, there's really no other way to be but nice.
Yeah, it naturally comes out.
Unless
I think you're
being
nice.
A dick.
I don't. I've never seen you. be mean.
I could be a dick.
Really?
Well, not in the way that you imagine. I mean, like I'm assertive, deeply, and quick to change behaviors if I think they are not aligned with what I want at that moment. You know, I don't know what that means to others, but yeah, no, I try to live the way at all times, but like everyone can be a fucking, you know.
Oh yeah, we're all capable.
Yeah, we got multitudes inside of us, man, at all times.
But aren't you glad you're for the most part on Zoe's good side?
Yeah,
of course. I wouldn't want to be on your bad side. I wouldn't want to be on your bad side.
He's on my bad side.
Of course not, but I'm saying, wouldn't you be? Aren't you glad that
I've
you're?
been so well behaved with this one. Forget about it.
Yeah, listen,
I'm texting her that you've already jerked off.
I'm glad you already jerked off. It's nice to jerk off.
No, it's like the funny thing to me and Joey was just like I don't have the time or space to jerk off, and it's good because now that I don't, it's like I've like rebuilt like my hormonal system and everything.
You're one of those keep the cum inside guys.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
But it's just
He's one of those whiny if he hasn't come in a day and a half.
What a patient partner you are.
It's a long time to wait.
It's a long time. I get it. It's a foundational element of your relationship and self.
Oh, yeah.
I go like weeks without coming. It doesn't even matter to me. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, girls can be like sexual camels sometimes. You know what I mean? Like they just
Sean's like, are you
go through
ever
the
gonna
desert.
be like acting like you're like that you're haven't had water in a long time? And I'm like, well, I had water last night. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
like I gotta let
plenty.
this build up a little bit.
Yeah, the vagina's not as needy as the dick, as the penis.
Well, and it makes me think. I'm like, and the women that I've been with that make it seem like that, are they putting on an act, or are they in a phase?
No,
or?
I think there's many varieties, and I was always so jealous and angry at my female friends. Like, I've got this one friend who can come from her ass, just her ass. It's like a mental orgasm. Like, fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how dare you? I had one friend who could like come from her nipples. I was like furious at her.
Yeah.
I have one friend who can come like, she was like, yeah, you just like get on top and just do this. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, there's just like and again, I think I've said this to you guys before. Like, if I could come super easily, like, I would have every kind, A to Z, STD. And are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And, like, really one of the only reasons that, like, I have done anything with my life is because, like, I love orgasms, of course. I'm a fucking pleasure glut like anybody. But because it takes a minute and it's like it's a mental, celestial, star-aligned fucking, event, it's not something that I focus on, and because if I did, I would just lose my mind. And the vibrator orgasms are like kind of cheap, and like it's gotta.
That's what I think about jacking off.
It's just cheap. Like the real orgasm is just much deeper, and like you can do but the vibrator's addictive, and it's like the whole thing. And then you have the vibrator in the bedroom, and then you got the sound, and it's like, oh, do I even like this person? Like, what are they like? I don't know. So it means it's not a big part of my brain. I can't imagine a world. I don't know what if
I'm not knocking any of it.
I literally can't imagine a world. Like, I talked to some of my gay friends. Like, one of my gay friends just got back from Mexico, and we both have been to this gay bathhouse called Sodomé. It's
okay.
I'm the only one who's ever been there once. I went there because I saw it on Google Maps. I'm like, I gotta go see what Sodomé is.
Yeah.
Or
Sodomé.
Sodomé. Sodome. And of course, I dropped my guy friend who is not gay. It's a gay sex bathhouse, obviously.
You brought a straight guy in there?
Yeah, but I thought we could like at least there'd be an element of like we'd be able to go places. They immediately separated us, put me in some like sauna upstairs, and they wouldn't even let me go to the thing. And then he was stuck in the fucking gay bath part, furious at me. And they take your phone, of course, so like we couldn't communicate. And he like kind of snuck up to like try to like to hang out with me. They like kicked him out of there. Like,
oh my god!
I was talking about. Oh right, so my gay friend who just got back from Sodomé world. He was telling me he was like walking around there. Someone just started. It was steamy and dark, and someone just started sucking his dick, and how great that was. And I'm trying to imagine a world where if like I'm like, I don't know how this would happen. I'm walking or laying down, someone just starts going down on me. I would fucking lose my mind.
Yeah.
It's like nothing about. I wish so much. Like, what a world to be gay, where you just like, yeah, fucking put my dick in there, fucking put my dick in there, you fuck me over here, like, yay.
It's a very big difference in energy to like give versus receive, and I
would
think
love
that changes a lot of things.
I would get a lot less done, honestly, and I get why they're super focused on sex because they're just coming all the time. They don't care, and that's fucking awesome. Good for them.
Yeah.
I am jealous.
They're neutralized.
Oh, I'm so proud of them.
They're fully neutralized in this society.
I'm fully sterilized.
The straight men are going out with their balls are full. They're busting at the seams. They're addicted to porn. You know?
Yeah, they're just free.
Yeah.
They're just free.
Well, what I think about, because I hear about like all this gay sex that they have, and I'm like, how many times a day are you thinking about this? Like,
well,
what
you want to fuck all the time. I mean, you don't imagine you,
but 3
gay.
or 4.
But imagine you, where your primary partner, where Cass would be like, yeah, let's go fuck together, and both of you would be the same sexual like frequency.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, what could you even do? You go to work and you fuck. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
End of. Go to the gym.
Yeah.
And that's it.
But only if someone on Grindr is going to be there, or you know.
Nah, well, I don't know. It's not even you go to the gym, grocery store.
Yeah, you go in there and
the
find
whole
someone.
world's your fucking Tinder, brah. 3 Tinder all day long. Fucking Grindr's the most amazing. Or Sniff. You guys ever checked out Sniff?
Never heard
of it. Genius shit ever.
What's Sniff?
Incredible dating app. Okay. For a gay man, or I think actually, sorry, I don't mean it's like all kinds of spectrums of LGBTQ plus, whatever you call it now, but they have like statistics of what the people actually like. They'll give you all these graphs of like this person actually will see your type of personality, like because you list all of your like you do like sexual health, or like, I'm HIV positive, I'm herpes positive, and whatever, I'm clean, or whatever, I'm uncut, and then the pictures of the asshole, pictures of the dick, no pictures of face, but like you can see all the goods up front, and then they give you statistics on your type, like he's a bear and he likes otters, and you are an otter, and you are this height, so the chances of him actually meeting and fucking you if you text him are like 80%.
His dick is gonna hit your prostate perfectly.
I'm telling you, they give you all these graphs. Imagine if straight people had access to information like this. You'd waste. I mean, all of my straight friends who are on like Hinge and fuck Bumble and fucking, they spend 99% of their time just like swiping like it's a fucking shopping cart. They don't see them. They like talk for a little bit and they're out. Because if you could just see the dick.
Yeah.
See the vagina?
Well, that's why when people complain about sending like unsolicited dick pics early, I'm like, don't you want that?
I mean,
like, don't you kind of want to know what you're dealing with?
We're getting older, man. I'm trying to like stop wasting so much time. Like, let's get it on. Like, not like I've never been on dating apps. I can't do it. It gets in the way of my belief that I am magical and like like I will meet people. Like, I can't do it. It's just too. I can't.
You don't need to. You're
but
so
like,
active.
It's so
socially.
stupid. In my head, I've got this thing about online dating, which I shouldn't. It's super dumb. It's a way better way to. I suppose it was better numbers wise. Who knows? And you can. But
I think for you that you kind of have a big personality that you want to make sure someone vibes with your chemistry, and probably the odds of someone vibing with you, it would be better if you just did it in person.
Well, it's also like, who has the time? Like I'm doing shit. We're doing shit. We're making rent. Yeah, and like I barely have time to see all my friends, my family, keep up with like the fucking like just paying the fucking lights on to like go meet some dude who's gonna look not like, and I don't even know what his dick looks like. So like he could be like not a serial killer and kind of like what he looks like in his photos, and not be a sociopath who like does meth on the corner like at weekends, but. Like,
here's the other thing. Who cares what his dick look like? Because god damn, every person we know is coming to us and saying my partner's not interested in sex, or they're not right for me, or whatever. And like even on the dating scene, like, hey, I go out there and I'm down to have a one night stand, and the guy can't get it up, or wasn't interested in me. And I'm talking about like fucking beautiful women.
Yeah,
and just like,
it's rough
what
out there,
is
bro.
going on right now?
That's why I'm like, I have a boyfriend. He's super cute. He's super nice. I'm just like holding on for dear life. I'm like,
he's the man.
Let's just leave it. Let's just let all of the stuff of like, and we've been working through some really hard stuff about communication and all this like really stuff that I would have avoided like the plague a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I would have been like, never ever would I deal with this. Like, it's all or nothing, bitch. Let's go. But at this stage of my life, with seeing the shit that I've seen and like looking at my other people's partners, I'm like, oh my god, like I have a good person. You are a kind. Your heart is kind. You have empathy in your bones. That is it.
Yeah.
That is all that matters really right now. It's like, can you, do you help? Do you hurt? Or do you, like, where does your, it's brutal out there. I would not recommend, I would recommend like getting really comfy being alone, and then maybe you find a magical partner at some point. God, good luck on your journey, man, because it's not easy out there. People are fucking psychopaths.
Like post-pandemic too, if we can even call this that, but like, everybody's mental health issues are like right there on the surface.
Through the roof.
Just everyone is struggling in some way or another. So if you're in a happy, healthy partnership, God bless you. You know, if you somehow made it through that, God bless you.
Yeah,
if you're finding love, awesome.
Good luck getting
rare.
off all those pills, man. I mean, I would like to recommend to everybody, if you're even PJ Vogt, a friend of mine, has this incredible podcast called Search Engine, and he has done the most incredible series on why he was addicted to Adderall for 20 years and his journey of mental health and struggle in a very personal way, including like the science and the history of how these poisons were sold to us as these magic beans, and the whole, and like you see the interplay of the greed and the corporate garbage and the way they've been shoving these fucking medications down our throat, and that really, when it comes down to it, we have to learn how to just sit in uncomfortable things. And so you're an ADD spaz, like you have to learn ways to meditate and fucking sit and focus, and you don't need pills to do. I mean, maybe some people do. I'm not, medication can work for some people, but it's the way they've been. So get off the pills. Everybody, I don't know how you do it, and I know it's super addictive. I know, but figure it out, because this shit is poison.
And shout out to your mom. We were just talking the other day. I was like, did she ever make she protected you from it? Because trust me, they were talking about it.
No, I know that. No. Every single, I mean, I saw a bunch of, they were like, I don't know what to do with this girl. And, I definitely believe that I could have been taught other ways to manage my energy and my inability to be bored. And that's the really thing, like, that marshmallow test, like, can you sit still? can you settle your brain in moments of quiet and like do stuff that is hard? And that is the thing that we are not able to do anymore with the phone, with the whatever, with the constant distraction and everything going on all the time. Is just, can you sit still and quiet?
I just sent Cass this crazy Instagram video that's like a news report from the 80s where they did like surveillance on a classroom, and there's like 4 kids that can't sit still. They're spazzing out, this and that.
Sure.
And all they did was put covers on the lights that blocked a little bit of the radiation, and it went from white light to something more tungsten like this, and the kids calmed down.
Yeah, right?
So it's like stuff like that, the lighting.
They should do that in hospitals when babies are giving birth.
The first thing you're exposed to, you know, like all of this.
You're trying to get better, and you're like, neon lights.
You're bathed in the office light
of all hours, and then they wake you up in the middle of the night to give you medication so you can never get a good night's sleep.
Oh my!
Take your blood pressure.
Oh my God! I love these headsets. I really feel like I'm on Mars.
Yeah.
I'm like a space traveler. I'm like Ziggy Stardust, like floating through the fucking ether. It's so good.
Ziggy playing guitar.
It's so good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Fucking pleasure, Brett.
I know. We went through a hiatus of our friendship.
That's you guys moved away.
Well, yeah. We also, I was like, God.
You were also super COVID people, though. Listen, and like I was, and it's hard to be around me because I'm around. I did my best.
You were one of our red flag people because we're like, she's out of control. Like we want to be around you, but like Zoe would be a super spreader.
I removed myself. I went away. I got out of New York because what the fuck was I gonna do? I'm a people person, man. I wasn't about to sit in my beautiful yet tiny apartment. I couldn't do it.
No, you did a really smart thing. We did a podcast while you were out in California during the quarantine.
We were in wine country.
I was like so jealous of what your surroundings were.
It's honestly, one of the things that I've done well in my life is I have friends who have way more money than I do, who have access to way nicer properties and like just everything that I do, and like to have me around as like a Polly Pocket clown creature. So they invite me to their fancy things that I could never afford without them. So I have, during pandemic I got really lucky.
That was right.
My bets on my humans paid off big time because it was a lot of relationship. It was a relationship-based wealth at that time. I mean, for me anyway, it's really paid off.
Yeah. We did one of the rare episodes of our podcast that never came out was with you because we just did ketamine on there, and I was in a K-hole the whole time. And I was like,
wasn't it a good podcast?
I can't remember. I don't know. As soon as it was over, it's a lost episode.
I never listened to my fucking podcast ever again.
No,
I'd be like,
heard
why
it.
would you? I mean, it's funny that we would like think that someone would listen to like I can't even listen to my voice again once I've said. I'm like, I don't even want to know.
If we get positive feedback, sometimes I'll go like listen to the first 10 minutes and be like, how did we even get people to the place where they're giving positive feedback? Sometimes I'll do that, and it always leaves me with a smile on my face. I'm like, well, we're better at this than I thought.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
My favorite compliment, and I'm sure you get this, is that that people listen to us at 1x speed rather than like 1.5.
Yeah, that's a big thing. People listen.
You were talking about
listen to podcasts at double speed.
A lot of people do. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because I think when people, at least
time is money.
When people come here, they're not looking for information. But when people are looking for information, they go to a podcast and they're like, "Well, let me get this twice as fast."
That is so weird. I need to slow down on everything I do. I don't want to speed anything up.
I play this at half speed.
The compliment that I get the most. Yeah, the thing I get the most, which really is like the reason why I still do this work, even though it will never. I mean, I won't say never. I should not. It has not yet been a source of income ever, but it's not why I do this. Obviously, no one does. But the main compliment I get is like I was in a really dark place, and that your interviews and your way of living gave me hope for humanity, kind of. Or that there's still people out there like living and curious and like open and like willing to like listen, and just that I was in a dark place and you brought me light. And that for me is like payment enough, times a million. And I sent it to my mom. I'm like, look, Mom.
Oh yeah.
Is your mom still going back to Burning
Man? Your mom cares?
My mom my mom did not go to Burning Man this year, thank God.
Tell her enough's enough.
No, she's definitely going back this year. She loves it. She loves it. She told me that she wants to go back to Burning Man until she's like on an oxygen. I was like, well, what if you're like on a stretcher? She's like, bring the oxygen tank. I'm like, okay.
Damn.
The family's going to love
So
this.
have you done like full circle with your mom? Because I feel like growing up you had like, you were a little bit, what would you call you? The black sheep, I guess. Is that fair? Like,
I mean,
she
There's
loves
only 2
me.
sheep, though.
Yeah, no, there's 3.
Oh, there's
my
3
sister. My sister is a super success. I was just, I don't know if it was a black sheep. My mom had to work a lot, and my dad wasn't around a lot, so I was just alone. It wasn't even a black sheep. I was just.
You're like a latchkey kid.
No,
Have
no,
you heard
no.
that?
I opened that door. I did whatever I wanted. That's the problem. Is like I lived in D.C. and I had rollerblades and I would just go wherever I wanted and I had cash and like I was just free. And I lived in like a safe little neighborhood and I just was fucking rollerblading around doing whatever I wanted, answering to no one. And I developed a very strong sense of self because of that, and and a very strong sense of imagination because I had to make my own fun, pretty much. And my brother and sister are much older than I am, so they were in college, and I was just, it's a different world. It's you make your own world, really. But I don't think that my mother. I think my mother this year has we recently had a very hard conversation where she had said to me in a passing again, like, I'm really proud of you, even though you're not married and you don't have children. And it was like an aside. And I don't even think she meant to say it. I think she was even saying it as like I think it just kind of like keeps coming out of her mouth. And I don't even think she knows she's saying it. And I just like turned around. I was like, Mom, like, it's like really hurtful. I have a really rich life that has value. And when you say this to me, it like really puts me in this like place of like, of darkness, that like no matter what I do and how many people I help and try to like how to live, and I like no matter how I try to show you that my life has value, that the only value to you is this ridiculous Pollyanna fucking marriage child thing.
Yeah.
And while I see the value deeply of monogamy, commitment, or polyamory, or whatever, and raising something and the world of a child and the imagination of a child, like it's. We have very recently come to a point where she is really proud of what my decisions are, but it took a really long time, and we have been fighting it out for her to get me on a path that felt more familiar to her, that wasn't so scary for her. Because Dandelion in the Wind, single free child thing was not in the books for me. And as a parent, it takes a long time to let go of your idolizations,
I think it's literally you just hit an age where they have enough data points where they're like, fuck, they're happier than I think the path I wanted for
or
them.
your
Maybe
eggs
they're
are just
onto
gone,
something. Yeah,
and they give up.
They're like, fuck it. All right, I just gotta be happy for you.
Yeah, I mean, once I hit 40, I'm close. I think she'll finally let it go. And I think having children would be such a beautiful and awesome experience. I can't imagine being able to raise them in the way that I would want to.
No.
And until I could, and until I had the partner, and until I had the money, and until I had the time, and I had the knowledge of which to raise an empathetic human, which I do, but like, who has the patience for this shit?
You'd be a good mom. Cass would be. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's like idiocracy. It really
Yeah,
is.
I know.
It
Really
really
I
is
think about
happening.
it all the fucking time.
Because people that
It's
should be
so-
having kids are knowing better because we're looking around and we're saying there's nothing for anyone in this meat grinder.
I mean, there is something. I do.
Because we figured out another path. What are
Right.
the chances?
I don't know.
That's what I think.
I just don't have I don't have the money. Period.
So
That's
I don't
it.
have this money.
End of discussion.
Yes.
And I make a lot of money, but I don't. I mean, I'm sure, and I know that everyone works it out, but like, there is no way that I'm going to raise my child without the same educational opportunities that I had. And
And they're just not available.
That's.
It's
I
simple.
mean, the high school that I went to is like, I think it's like $70,000 a year now, and not like I don't know what the inflation was. I'm not like it's like how what. How? Who? Where?
That's what we were saying at the beginning of this
Very
podcast.
wealthy or something?
Like,
I don't know.
Everywhere we go, all we say is, how are people doing
How do
this?
they do it?
How is anyone
Maybe
doing
they're
this?
embezzling from the government or selling drugs. It's the only two options. They've
Debt.
got to be.
I think they're just in a debt cycle that I'm not comfortable with.
I'm not doing debt.
I've never done it, so I'm not like...
Cash. I'm living
We're,
a cash
we're in a
lifestyle,
debt life.
motherfucker.
We're in debt in a couple of departments right now.
Oh, sure,
Yeah,
sure.
but not like a real way. We're not like we don't own the fucking casino or house. We're good.
Yeah.
We're fine.
We don't have a house to own.
Yeah,
so.
we don't know. We don't have anything. Like, come at me, bro. Like, really,
exactly.
Like,
That's us.
What are you gonna take?
Sure.
My weird vase with toes on it. Like,
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I know, but like, what is it worth? $0 to anyone but me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel getting older has been interesting, and the way that your mind changes as a woman, and like your value as a sexual object, and like the stuff with my new partner, like, which again I'll touch on very lightly, like in the ways that we like you feel about yourself and how like they're 40 and I'm almost 40, and like everything just feels very weird. Like my nephews are like 23 and they're like their own fucking humans, and like everyone is like
now people younger than me look like children.
Oh yeah,
it just like all of a sudden happened where I'm like, y'all are all children.
Yeah,
like everyone under 30, I'm like, oh my god, you're such a kid.
But we weren't children. Were we children? I don't even.
Yeah, I guess we were.
Hindsight's a motherfucker. I don't know. I'm grateful for the. I'm grateful that we're we made it through whatever that we've got water and heat and a house and love and like the basics, and because like every time I start getting in these like shame spirals of like where I'm at as opposed to where I wanted to be, all I try to do is go back to like basic gratitude. It's like, okay, you have water, you have food, you have a house, period. You are safe, period. You have freedom, period. You have a mother, period. Your family is relatively healthy, period. Full stop.
Yeah.
And just try to shut the fuck up those demons in your head that are constantly just like,
it's definitely the best way to wake up every morning.
I mean, the mental health stuff is just compounding, and I have nothing but just endless empathy and just people. I had so hard. I have so much, and I have so much support, and there's so many people that have no support. And so like, I don't know, man. It's just gonna get crazier and crazier, and I just hold on tight to this fucking roller coaster, man, because it's. I don't know.
Well, the American dream's unraveling, and pandemic was very revealing, and it's depressing people as you go back to the slog the way it used to be, and realizing, oh, there's no way to get ahead.
No.
Like the rich just always are gonna get richer.
Yeah.
Where our wages are going to stagnate, things are just going to get harder. It's fucking depressing. It catches up to
I think
people.
the thing that was worse for me is seeing that like the things that we were supposed to learn during pandemic about taking things not for granted, about spending more time and downtime with about like appreciating your whatever those lessons were supposed to be had from pandemic are not resonating in any legislation, in any change of behavior, in any empathy, in any like changes in like just human compassion is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck was all of that for? Weren't we supposed to be looking inwards and meditating and becoming our best selves in this moment of fucking stop, pause, and like we're just more gluttonous and more greedy and more insecure and more hate-filled and like fuck. So like now what?
Ozempic.
Ah.
I'm telling you, there is always a product just in the nick of time that can save our souls.
Thank God it's going to reduce all that engine fuel.
Yes,
that will
exactly.
stop the greenhouse gases. Well, I have to go put on a puppet show. Yeah. But
this was incredible.
I love you so much.
We love you.
What a fucking... What do I do?
Yes.
And if you want to tune into Casamai's BDSMR series, where we're going to tell you you're a dirty fucking filthy pig, and we're going to make you come to like sounds like... Wait, do you have a crackle thing? How to do it?
BDASMR?
No, BDSMR.
Oh.
BDSMR. Yeah, because I am not a dominatrix, nor do I want to hold space for anyone mentally on their sexual whatever, but like I will talk shit.
Yeah.
You have to talk about their teeny little penis.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to shame their dicks. Can we just call them pigs?
No, it's not a shame thing.
They like it.
They like it.
We'll tell you off camera some stuff Cass knows about.
I just really like this idea that we're like whispering, motherfuckers.
Whisper.
It's been a goddamn pleasure.
Thanks, Zoe.
Church of Chill.
Zoe Nightingale.com.
Zoe Nightingale.com. Check out my fucking podcast, motherfuckers.
You're welcome.
You're fucking welcome.
Peace, love, and magic, y'all.